What is Sword Weirdos? We're gonna chat all things Sword Weirdos today in a new series, which we'll see
Might
how
be a
many we
series.
make. Which is
Yeah.
basically just going to be us chatting about random war games, and yeah, that's the only premise really.
That we may or may not have played very much of.
Yes. What is Sword Weirdos? Let's just quickly introduce ourselves to the world of Sword Weirdos. Except there isn't a world of Sword Weirdos, because Sword Weirdos is you just do whatever you want with them.
Just a base set of rules, isn't it?
A blessing and a curse, I think. You're never gonna like walk into a random plaza. I don't know what I've gone with
plaza? What the fuck are you talking about?
just roll with it. You're never gonna...
I'm always strolling into plazas, me. Happens every fucking 15 minutes.
I don't know why I went with plaza. You're never gonna walk into a plaza and find somebody to play Sword Weirdos with.
No, it's
because
true.
It's not that kind of game. But if you already know somebody, you can be like, "Hey,
let's go to a plaza
and let's play Sword Weirdos there." You know, you get where I'm coming from. if you're in
It's turning into a podcast very quickly.
If you're in the atrium so there's no story, no setting. It's just generic fantasy, which is good.
Yeah, it's good.
It is good. There we go.
It's just a really useful. Like, you can do so much with generic fantasy, like, and I think where we found it best is just like, if we have an idea that maybe wouldn't quite fit into a different system, we can take like a certain theme and just sort of plug it in and do whatever we want with it, and that feels really good.
Yes,
what have we used it for?
That is what it's perfect for. You've got an idea which hasn't been done, and you can't be asked to make a rule set.
Or if it has been done and you just want something to play together, because it also has, and this is getting ahead, but a very good co-op system as well. So if you want a really good basic co-op system with an AI, as it were, opponent, so you can play together as opposed to against one another in a sort of skirmishy way, then it's great for that too.
Now there are technically factions, but they're not really like other games factions, so they're not really worth mentioning.
They're not defined.
Basically, there's enough like generic fantasy archetypes that you can theme your force around, so that you can do whatever you want.
Yep.
So moving on from the lack of background, there's no miniatures either. Maybe we shouldn't have started with this one.
I don't know concept in a game, isn't it?
I don't know if this is really conveying what this series is going to be about, because I feel like normally it's going to be like, let's explain the background to this game and let's look at some miniatures and say that they look nice. But regardless, we plow on.
We're here now.
We're committed. It's what's called miniatures agnostic. Although I don't really like the term.
Yeah, that's pretentious.
I don't think that whoever came up with that knows what agnostic means. Because agnosticism, just to briefly tangent, means that you neither believe or don't believe in God. So to be miniatures agnostic would imply that you neither believe or don't believe in miniatures. I almost want to say that, like, if you were a miniatures theist, that would mean that you only use the miniatures of a game.
Or if you're atheist,
if you're miniatures
don't believe in miniatures at all,
then you don't care and you just say use whatever miniatures. So it should be miniatures.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yes, but I think it is best suited to like what I'm deeming as like traditional fantasy miniatures. I don't think that some of the wackier shit on the market will
Like
be
what?
as well represented. Like some of the Age of Sigmar crap.
Right, because I was going to say we've played it with Burrows and Badgers, and
Yeah,
that
but
works quite well.
I think that is like a traditional fantasy miniature. Burrows and Badgers is just guy with sword.
Or
But
okay.
the guy is actually a mouse.
Yeah.
Or a badger.
Or a badger.
But like, I don't think that this would represent like elf on eel with magic horn.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Like,
We're closer to a traditional fantasy setting.
It's better with like low fantasy, bit of, and I don't think that you wouldn't. It doesn't naturally like really super powerful stuff because everything's kind of you wouldn't want something too powerful in this game.
Everything's got a closer baseline.
Yeah. So as mentioned, Burrows and Badgers, we've played using these rules because they're more straightforward and easier than Burrows and Badger rules to just do a random game with.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would work well with like just generic Warhammer stuff. I think like generic mythology, D&D.
Yeah. If you were doing battles with D&D, I think it would work really well.
Yeah. I thought Elder Scrolls because there's like a whole miniature Elder Scrolls stuff that has from what I've heard, tedious rule set attached to it.
Lord of the Rings.
Just do this. Yes, although I guess you would just play Middle Earth strategy battle game, wouldn't you? But yeah, you could if you weren't really do Lord of the Rings. The world is your oyster when it comes to Sword Weirdos.
And Space Weirdos is a thing, right?
Yeah, I kind of assumed that we could make a different video on Space Weirdos, but maybe this should just be a combined video because they're basically the same thing.
I think we're going to be saying a lot of the same things otherwise.
Well, we could just never make it. I think Sword Weirdos, just to briefly tangent, is better Space Weirdos.
Yes,
I agree. It's just Space Weirdos, but with better weapon rules, which Space Weirdos really lacks in. In fact, I
don't think Space Weirdos like hugely lacks. It's just not as good.
I would just play Space Weirdos with the Sword Weirdos rules because
you definitely could.
Sword Weirdos has ranged weapons, so you would just say that the pistol is a laser rifle.
Sure.
Anyway, gameplay and rules is where we've actually got something to talk about. It's a small game, both in size, number of models, length of time. I think that you're gonna struggle to have many models. I think it's more like kind of like the 10 range.
I think past 10, you may as well play. You should start to play a different system. Like, I just don't think it would work as smoothly if you got it towards like 15 or 20. I think it would just become quite tedious as well because of the AI rules.
Yeah, I mean, you could do PvP though, but I think even so that the same would apply. I thought focusing just on the unique mechanics rather than a generic waffle. So I thought that the two things really stood out that made Sword Weirdos was the different dice and the lack of health or wounds. So I thought we could discuss those and I really like the different dice idea, and I think that this game does it better than some other games because in this game you roll 2, for example, 6-sided dice to reflect a skill, and if your skill improved, then you would roll 2 8-sided dice. But your opponent may be rolled different dice, and then you compare the results. I think that you get a better kind of average by having the 2.
Yeah.
Versus a game like Burrows and Badgers, where we kind of ended up realizing that actually a lower dice is sometimes more beneficial because you were more likely to crit.
Yeah,
which felt odd.
Yeah, the crit mechanic was just a bit too swingy sometimes.
But let's not talk too much about bows and badgers.
No.
But what do we think about the dice mechanics for Sword Weirdos?
It didn't lead to many like tilting moments, I don't think. Like, I think, as you're saying, it felt more consistent than perhaps in other systems. In some ways, that might not necessarily be a good thing. Like, I think it's something you talked about with the change to Heroic Strike, is that sometimes you do actually want those like really swingy, unlikely moments.
Oh, you're talking about Middle Earth now.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I think you still have it's still potentially there.
Yeah, it's just very unlikely.
It's not very unlikely. It's just not as likely. Mayor, what did you think about the lack of health wounds in Sword Weirdo?
It made me feel like I never quite knew if I was close to death or not, which I think is a good thing, but I didn't feel like that at the time. It felt more like, oh my god, it's going to happen, I'm going to die. Oh no, it's fine. I do remember times when it was incredibly difficult to kill our opponents and they just wouldn't die, I seem to remember. I can't remember exactly the scenario, but I remember being a little bit frustrated that I couldn't do like chip damage. I had to like pray for this god almighty high roll.
Yeah. I think to be fair that we might have slightly played the rules wrong.
That does sound right.
I think that there's actually a situation where like if they're stunned, knocked prone, and then you hit them, I think they just instantly die, possibly, or something like that.
Oh right, okay.
There was definitely some.
So there's a sort of form of chip damage then, but not
yeah, but yeah, not as easy to do as in other games. I quite liked it for the reasons that you kind of said. There's an aura of jeopardy.
Yeah.
But also it's quite unlikely, so you actually get too worried about it. I don't know how it would feel in a PvP match. I think then it would feel a little if you like killed their main character with a random arrow.
Have we played it in PvP? I'm not sure we have we?
No, I don't think we actually did in the end. I think we've just always
really
played
good
it
for co-op.
It's just really good for co-op. Just play it co-op.
Just play it co-op.
Just play it co-op. Yes, and we didn't actually explain how it worked. When a mob would have taken damage, you just roll a dice on like a table, and it tells you what happens to them. Yeah, it was an interesting way of doing it. And in terms of what game types you can do Warband v Warband or co-op or single player, and you should just play co-op.
Yeah, it's probably easier and less stressful.
Just play co-op. Maybe that's what this video series should. It wouldn't really work for games without co-op. That's Sword Weirdos.
Play it co-op.
Play it co-op.
Is it free? Where do they find it?
No, I did pay hard cash.
Where do our good viewers? Where are they going to find it?
I want to say it was £3. Google it.
Or Google
would be my recommendation, and then buy it from wherever Google tells you to. I can't remember, if I'm being completely honest. What I think we can say, although this is, we liked it.
You cut out a bit.
Oh, I was just saying, although this isn't a review, we like Sword Weirdos, and we bought Space Weirdos because we like Sword Weirdos.
Yeah,
and we also like Space Weirdos, just not quite as much.
We did enjoy it, didn't we?
Yeah.
There was did we end up releasing that video? I don't think we did we?
I don't think we recorded it. I think that we just played it for fun.
We just played it for fun. Like,
it does sometimes happen.
Occasionally. You can buy Sword Weirdos on Drive-Thru RPG for $5.
Wow. There you go. Bargain.
It's got a 5-star rating from 47 reviews.
Excellent. And with that sneeze.
Just hard cut. Just pretend that you accidentally stopped the recording.
Yeah. It's good in co-op.